Welcome to Function and Flow, everybody. Let's go ahead and dive right on into things. So right off the bat, I want you to go ahead and just take a moment, shake your body on out. Loosen things on up. Pull yourself up nice and tall. I want you to imagine yourself standing against a door, wall, mirror, whatever it may be for you. Just something nice, straight on up. And as you do so, you find that it's easier for your body just to come into that proper alignment. Now as you do that, you're going to go ahead and actually lift your torso up out of your pelvis, open up space through your abdomen. You're going to lift your chin on up, your eyes come on up to about a 45-degree angle. You're going to expand your vision. And as you do so, you can allow your shoulder blades to relax down and back. Your lower back relaxes, your pelvis scoots in on underneath. Give yourself a nice little seat, place to easily support yourself. Feel that way right now. We're going to go ahead and fine-tune our posture. We're going to do that by ever so minutely, after first making sure that our head, our ears are directly above our shoulders. You don't want your head leaning forward. You want them back over those shoulders. You're going to ever so minutely rock your body forward and back. So you find that place where things just feel right. You're in balance on the line. We're going to do the same thing with your head now. You're going to focus right here at the front of your throat. And just slightly bring your head forward and back. Finding that place where things just feel good. Continue to move. Don't worry about locking yourself out. This is anything but that. This is about letting go. Once again, focus right at the front of your throat. Allow your head to just rock forward and easily come on back. Now a way to continue to do that, for it to be able to become easier and easier for you, is to breathe out. Take a nice breath in as you raise your head straight on up, slightly above level, and as you breathe out, relax your head off to one side and then the next. And you find that the more that you're willing to just exhale, release, find that relief, that your head just relaxes easier and easier. And you can bring it straight on up. Go ahead and bring yourself back into that posture once again. You can even bring your chin on up a little bit higher. Relax the shoulder blades down back, pelvis scoops in underneath. Find the weight back on your heels so you're easily supported. Now you focus right at the front of your throat and you allow your head to come forward, and it just easily rolls around as you continue to exhale. Breathe out and find that your muscles relax more and more. It's a wonderful thing you can do for yourself. Reverse directions. Find yourself solidly planted in your feet, and your head are easily able to just roll around and around. Your shoulders relaxing, your hips. You bring your chin straight on up, your head straight on up. Bring yourself back into that posture. Find yourself lifting, growing even higher. You're not forcing it. Once again, it's almost like you're just being drawn up by a string. Literally feel that. Just drawn up easily and naturally. And your body just hangs there because of it. It's like being a marionette, right? You don't have to put any effort into that. As a matter of fact, imagine yourself being that marionette right now. Simply hanging on out. As you're doing that, your hands are lifted up to either side. Your arms don't have to do anything. Your shoulders don't have to do anything. Your thumbs come on up. Your fingertips come on in. It's pretty interesting, isn't it? Your arms relax even more. Your shoulder blades just relaxing deep down into that back line. Notice how things just open on up. Your arms begin rotating up, back, and around. I want that motion to emanate just from those hands. Imagine that string literally just lifting them up, rolling them back down and around. Those joints become looser and looser. Your hands literally move away from each other. Your shoulder sockets open up more. You create more space in your body. Things just happen smoother and smoother. Use that exhalation as your hands come down to your sides and rise on up in front of you. Just shake your hands on out for a minute. Get them nice, loose, and limp. This is really cool. I always like this. You grab a finger. Imagine it being a piece of spaghetti. I knew it, right? Shake that thing. Nice, loose, limp. Allow that experience to continue down through your hand, your wrists, your forearms, both sides, and As you bring those nice relaxed hands together, keep them just like that. Imagine those noodles just literally just rolling around. Now the great thing is because you use your imagination, visualization, you actually excel yourself at all the things that you get to experience here. Just that imagery right there, reverse directions. Those noodles just moving around. You're just being, you're just doing. Your right elbow just rises on up towards the ceiling. Your hands are drawn on up. Then your hands are lowered on down. This time, as your hands come on up, let them stay there for a moment. And imagine that string pulling them on up, and your arms are just literally hanging there. Go ahead, move, shift, do whatever you have to do. And shoulders as well, your lower back, it's like you're just dangling. You don't have to put any effort into it. And those hands are just lowered down, brought around, raised on up. Your arms continue to relax more and more. Same with those shoulders. The sockets open on up. You reverse directions, and you notice because you continue on with that imagery, that visualization, whatever works out best for you, things become looser and looser. Let's go ahead and bring our hands in front of us. We're going to have our thumbs, pinkies together. You're going to bring a thumb into your sternum with your knuckles straight on up. Extend your palms straight on up. Your hands straight on up. Keep coming back onto those heels. Lift your chin on up. Bring your eyes on up. Expand your vision, if you like. Quickest, easiest way to break yourself out of the fight or flight state. Literally. I've got a great story for you guys. Great story for you. A little snippet. Go ahead and take a nice breath in. And as you breathe out, you go ahead and allow your palms just to reach on now. Find yourself extending to greater and greater degrees, not because you're pushing, because you're relaxing. You're allowing things to happen naturally. It's as if your hands are directed, pulled out in front of you, and then as you exhale, your hands raise on up above you, easily, naturally, smoothly. Once you're there, you can take a moment, reset those shoulders, and allow those hands to be drawn on up once again. As if your body's just hanging there. And because it is, you can feel your arms opening up, your shoulders, even your vertebrae, hips, so many different aspects of who you are, your own unique experience. As you just relax your head back for a moment, take that weight up your shoulders. Let those arms reach up even higher. Take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, those hands are floating all the way down to your sides. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves down onto our mats on all fours. Hands and knees, please. Nice and wide apart. I like you to do a little wiggle and squiggle, and I want you to go ahead and notice how your body feels right now. Literally, how do you feel right now? So many times we're stuck with the things that happen to us, right? The injuries, I don't want to do that again. What if I move that way and I trigger off that? Yada, 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 yada. We all got it. We've been listening to it. Yet at the same time, now you get to make a choice. You get to make a decision. Do you want to take care of yourself, or do you want to continue living by those stories? Even now, you find yourself being able to position your body in ways that just feel good, feel right. You're taking time to be mindful about yourself, plain and simple. All you need is a little time, a little focus. Go ahead and relax your head all the way down. That head of yours is 10 to 12 pounds. 10 to 12 pounds. By relaxing it as you go through all these motions, you will get so much greater benefits because your spine will be elongating the entire time. Think about that. You're relaxing those neck muscles. How often do they feel tight? It's your chance to let go. Do wonderful things for yourself. Your shoulders literally move away from each other as you exhale, opening up that shoulder socket, and you begin rotating those shoulders up towards your ears, back, down, and around. Now I'm going to be giving you all kinds of reminders over and over again. How about this one? Breathe out as you do this, and it becomes smoother and smoother. Reverse directions. Every word I say is actually a reminder to exhale. Every word I say only happens because I breathe out.
It's a whole lot of letting go. Let's go ahead and bring your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Relax that head once again. As you do so, I want you to go ahead and remember how loose and limp those hands were just moments ago. Your fingers, your palms, your wrists, forearms, maybe you got it all the way up into the shoulders, chest, back, I don't know. And even as you remember that, begin rocking forward easily and back, exhaling as you do so. Why do I talk about that exhale? Because every time you breathe in, you bring some kind of tension in your body. Plain and simple. You lock yourself up a little bit. Think about every time that you've been scared, frightened, jumped, or reached out for something. What was that motion like? Was it something smooth and easy like you are right now? Or was it something more jarring? You had to grasp for it. Let's begin rotating around in a circle. Reach out with your left shoulder. Elongate all the way down the length of your body, those ribs opening up, your hip following in behind. You come around to the other side, your right hip reaches on out, you open through those ribs, your shoulder following down through. So yes, we need that breath. We need that wonderful energy that it brings. And yet at the same time, because of the life, the world that we're living in, we're always on fight or flight. Always something to be scared of. Always something going on. Bells are ringing, right? Let's reverse directions. Reaching out with that shoulder, ribs, and you can let that head hang even lower and find that your back can rise in all kinds of wonderful directions. Now, anytime that you want to here, modify. Do what feels right for you. It is your body. How the heck am I supposed to know exactly what you need? I want you to listen to yourself while you're here. Instead of them bells and whistles, right? All them alarms. Let's go ahead and bring yourself back onto your heels. So your bottom back on your heels. You're going to turn your hands so that your fingers come back towards you. Bring whatever leverage you need down onto those hands. And moving in whatever direction that you choose to open those wrists up. Remember, once again, even closing your eyes, imagine it being those noodles. Spaghetti, just loose, limp all the way through those fingers, palms, your wrists. You breathe out and you find things releasing and letting go. Possibly moving in directions that you didn't even think you could. Not feeling this way at least. You rock back onto your heels and you flip your hands over to the back side. You can support yourself with one hand if you like, rolling on through once again, finding ways that feel right for you. Exhale as you do this. The more you relax, the easier all this is. Make sure you get both sides. That exhalation is the opposite of grasping, holding on. That exhalation is the release, the letting go. Trust. Let's go ahead and bring yourself back onto all fours, hands directly underneath your shoulders. And that word is really what it comes down to. Let your head relax all the way down. Feel your neck becoming longer and longer. Absolutely wonderful. You feel your hips relaxing, letting go. Your shoulders relaxing, letting go. Imagine yourself being that marionette with a string right there in the middle of your spine. Take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, you find your spine literally being lifted on up into calf position. Stop when you stop. You don't go to your full extent. You stop where you're comfortable, and yet at the same time, enjoying all the results you get. You take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, you can rise higher. You can simply enjoy the space you can create. You have choice. You literally just feel your body dangling by that string, lighter and lighter. Gives a nice another little lift on up. You feel your head hanging even lower, and your spine just opens up in the most wonderful way. Always exhaling, always moving in ways suitable for you. Take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, you settle down into cow position. Your hands walking away from your knees slightly. You arch your hips, your chin comes on up. Your head moves away from your tailbone, elongating your spine. You relax your torso down, your shoulder blades coming together. Bring your eyes all the way on up, expand them. Allow yourself to just smile. And as you do so, you give yourself a nice shot of serotonin, dopamine, all kinds of good stuff. And you can literally feel it. Even now, think of something that makes you really, really happy. As you do. Notice what happens. That feeling as it makes its way all the way down your spine and emanates all the way through who you are. Simple as that. You have that ability. You can do that. Imagine that string right there in the center of your spine. You take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, you find yourself just being easily lifted on up. Lighter and lighter. Your hands can walk in towards your knees if you like. And you find yourself just literally suspended and floating. Your head just hangs a bit lower. You find yourself relaxing your lower back, your mid-back, in between those shoulders. Things being able to elongate, open on up. Allowing yourself to heal. You're removing that bandage, compensation away easily and naturally. Using that breath, that release, that letting go. Breathe in, breathe out. Walk your hands away from your knees. Bring yourself back down in that cow position. Arch your hips, chin comes on up. Head moves away from your tailbone, and your torso relaxes down with your shoulder blades coming together. You bring your eyes all the way on up, expand your vision, literally use your peripheral vision, break yourself out of that fight or flight state. Find yourself just able to relax as you breathe in, breathe out, smile. Feel those wonderful chemicals that you produce, dynamic changes that you make inside of yourself. It's simple as that. A thought, a reaction, a response. Enjoy that anytime you want. Take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, you bring yourself into a neutral position. And then we're going to bring ourselves over onto our backs into foot circles. So you're going to extend your right leg out nice and long. So once again, the whole aspect of what we're doing on here is opening the body on up. Giving ourselves space to actually make those adjustments easily and naturally. Even now, as your right leg extends a bit lower, you may want to walk your shoulders up your mat a bit, lengthening through your torso, lower back. Your left foot is up by your bottom. You push down into the floor, literally pushing yourself off your mat so that your pelvis scoops in underneath and your lower back comes down to the floor. You're putting your pelvis in the neutral position. It's where it's supposed to be. With your arms extended out to either side, you roll your torso off to one side, bring your shoulder blade directly underneath you. You roll off to the other side, bring the other shoulder blade directly underneath you, feeling those shoulder blades coming together in that back one. This is where they're supposed to be. We wonder why our back and the shoulders get tight, neck gets tight. We've got our shoulder blades wrapped up around our ears, around forward. Time to open up. Notice how your organs are, lungs, your heart, everything open up. Able to do the things they're meant to do. Process easily and naturally. Your hands come down by your hips. Your left knee, you feel a string literally just floating that knee in towards your chest. Your hands reach down up and around behind that knee and secure that leg. You got a good hold of it. You will not let go of it for anything. It stays there easily and naturally for you. In a moment, I am going to ask you to relax as much as you possibly can. The greatest thing you can do for your healing and health is to have control of your autonomy. Physically, mentally, emotionally. The more control you have over yourself, the ability to be able to relax, see things for what they truly are, the more power you have. Easiest way to do that is that breath. Exhale as long as you can comfortably. Take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, let go. The stress, the strain, literally just melting away. You find that as you breathe in, those breaths can be smaller and smaller. Take what you need. No more, no less. Once again, being in that fight or flight state all the time, we're always charging ourselves up. We have more than enough. As you find yourself relaxing deeper and deeper, left foot extends on out. You find yourself having even more flexibility in that shin, ankle, and foot. You just relax and let it go and keep that flexibility.
It's always there for you. You have more than you know. I want you to imagine a circle at the end of your foot, about the size of a pizza, large pizza. You tie your big toe on up to the outside of that circle, and that circle begins rotating, taking that foot around for a nice little ride. Now, there's been plenty of times that you look down and see your foot doing all kinds of different stuff, jumping around, circling around. You had nothing to do with it. It's kind of interesting. Why is it doing that? It's one of those kind of things. This happens. Let it go. Enjoy it. While that's happening, relax your hips. Your lower back. Use that breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Every word I say is a reminder to exhale, to let go, to relax. In between that mid-back, those shoulder blades. In between the shoulder blades, feel that relaxation warmly washing up over your shoulders. Gives you a nice little squeeze there, up your neck, back of your head. You literally feel yourself melting in your mat as you reverse directions with that foot. That foot just spinning easily and naturally on its own. And because it is, that wave of relaxation continues up over your scalp. Kind of tingles, huh? Forehead, eyes, cheeks, jaw. Even as you take a nice breath in, smile. You bring your attention right there between your eyebrows. Relax. Open up. Allow your sinuses to open up, to breathe that much easier. Your left foot comes down to your bottom. Your right foot comes up to your bottom. Your left leg extends. Once again, open up that left hip. You can roll side to side. Use that breath. Exhale as you do, and you find your body opening up that much easier. Your right foot pushes down into the floor, scooping your pelvis in underneath your lower back down to the floor. Hands reaching out to the side. Roll off to one side. Bring a shoulder blade underneath. Roll off to the other side. Bring another shoulder blade underneath. Now that you got them both, notice where they're at. Notice how you feel. Something to consider, something to remember, to strive for. Take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, your hands come down to your hips. Your right knee floats in toward your chest. Your hands come down, up and around behind that right knee. A lot of breath right there. Now you know how much you relaxed just a few moments ago. I want you to imagine going be even 10 times more relaxed than that. 10 times. What would that feel like? What would it sound like? What would you be doing to be 10 times more relaxed? And as you consider that, enjoy that. You take a nice breath in, breathe out, let go. 10 times, 20 times, looks like, feels like, sounds like, 30 times. It's all up to what you're willing to let go of. Just like that. Even as that right foot extends, opening up that shin, ankle, foot, relax that. Imagine that circle at the end of your foot. Tie that big toe on up. Let it go for that ride. Begin spinning easily and naturally. It's like driving a car. You never think about your foot, do you? The pressure that you use, the directions it goes, it just happens. Same thing. It's even easier than that. It's not very life-threatening, is it? And because of that, you can easily focus on other things. Once again, relax your hips, lower back, mid-back, shoulder blades up and over those shoulders, through that neck, back of the head, melting into that mat as you reverse directions. Continue up over that scalp, forehead, eyes, cheeks, jaw, smiles. The right foot comes down to your bottom. Your left foot comes on up to your bottom as well. Push both feet down into the floor, scooping your pelvis in underneath your lower back to the floor. Hands reach out to either side. You roll off to one side, bring that shoulder blade underneath. Roll off to the other side, bring that shoulder blade underneath. Over and over again, we bring ourselves back to this neutral position to remind you
That way, as you go through your day, through your life, you know where that reset is. You can bring yourself to this easily, naturally. Imagine yourself once again being that marionette, right? Oh, hold on. Imagine strings being tied to those knees as you take a nice breath in, breathe out. The strings gently and easily open those knees up to either side, bringing you into frog pose. Your knees, your hips may rock from side to side, easing that hip in. Once you're down, you scoop your pelvis in underneath once again. Bring your lower back down to the floor. You reposition your hips? Of course you would. Now as you do so, use that breath. Use that breath. That exhalation. Trust. That's what it comes down to, right? Now, at least that's what comes to my mind. When you exhale, when you're not grasping, holding on. When you're willing to let go, just be now. It's a different thing, isn't it? Almost entirely. Through that release, that letting go, you can continue to shift, continue to move. You never have to just lie there. You're always doing something, so you may as well do something to help it along, right? You can imagine yourself being that marionette. Once again, those strings still tied to your knees. One gently just pulls up that left leg. You just literally watch that left knee rise up to the ceiling, and then it's gently lowered down on top of that right leg. Go ahead and reposition yourself, make yourself comfortable. Your hips, your shoulders, you can bring your gaze back to your left hand, your feet back to your left hand. I think you're comfortable now. Let's go ahead and take a nice breath in, breathe out, relax, let go. Find yourself able to shift into more and more comfortable positions. Find yourself releasing the band-aids, the compensations. You readjust your body into whatever position feels right for it. Listen to yourself. Listen to your body. Use that exhalation. Anytime you feel things starting to trigger, tighten up, whatever it may be for you, the arms, you know what I'm talking about. Stop. Stop at the earliest sign. Use that breath once again, right then and there, not when they're blaring. Be easy on yourself. Find yourself opening up in natural ways. Even now, you take a nice breath in, breathe out, your knees move down away from your head, and you extend through your torso, your pelvis, your thighs. Your gaze may come back more towards that left hand, your feet to that left hand, your hands literally moving away from each other, opening up through that chest, that shoulder girdle. You take a nice breath in, breathe out, let go. Let that exhalation continue on and on and on. The more you're willing to relax, the more you're able to assume to be in the positions that you choose, that you want to be in. The more flexible you are. Just makes sense. If you're holding on, if you're grasping, forcing, instead, just choose to be 10 times more relaxed, 20 times more relaxed, 30. Keeping that relaxation, using that breath, breathe in, and as you breathe out, that left knee is drawn on up to the ceiling. You scoop your pelvis in underneath as you bring your lower back to the floor, and that right knee is pulled on up easily and naturally, just laid down to rest on top of that left leg. Exhale the entire time as you reposition your body. You turn your gaze to that right hand, feet coming back to your right hand. Every word I say is a reminder. Breathe out. Your hands can even move away from each other. You take another nice breath in, breathe out, and let go. You find yourself able to go deeper and deeper into positions that you may have previously thought that you would have to force yourself into. It's not about the force. Be one with the force. Go with the force. Go with the flow. Breathe in, breathe out, let go. Your knees move down away from your head. You extend through your torso, your pelvis, your thighs. Maybe even bring your gaze even more so towards that right hand, your feet coming back. Imagine yourself taking that jump. Leap for joy. Smiles. Smiles, everyone. Your hands move away from each other. Breathe in as you breathe out. Relax and let go. So I had a paddler come to me. They had a lot of stuff going on. They've been at the top of the game for so long. Then they were out for a few years, COVID and all that. They came back in. Things just weren't necessarily the same as they were before. Having a little trouble. We worked on things. A lot of things we talked about in here. One of them, breathing. That relaxation. Being able to put herself easily and naturally into the zone. To just let go. To be at her best. Their best. Even now your right knee is drawn on up towards the ceiling. You open up gently into frog pose, scooping your pelvis in underneath, lower back to the floor, tuck and roll kind of a deal. It takes the pressure off that lower back. Your left knee is drawn on up towards the ceiling, and then comes down to rest on that right leg. Your knees move down away from your head, elongating through your torso, opening on up. Exhale as you do so. Don't force it. See how much you can relax and literally blossom into that position. Your left knee is drawn on up as you exhale, scooping the pelvis in underneath, lower back to the floor. Your right knee floats on up and comes to rest on that left leg. Blossom, open up on that side. Continue at your own rate and speed, gently, easily rocking side to side, being curious about how much you can relax as you do so. Even now, go 10 times deeper and find those knees literally just floating all on their own. Your hips relax. You make sure to keep that pelvis tucked in underneath in the neutral position. It takes any of the stress and strain off your lower back, while at the same time opening up those muscles into that pelvic region. Things just happen that much smoother. You just simply change positions. Your knees float on up towards the ceiling. Those feet push down into the floor, scooping your pelvis in underneath, lower back coming down to the floor. Hands reaching out to both sides. Roll out to one side, bring that shoulder blade underneath. Roll out to the other side, bring that shoulder blade underneath. Your hands just move down to your hips. You take a nice breath in as you breathe out. Your knees move in towards your chest. Your hands reach down and up and around your legs. Give yourself a big old hug. You deserve it. As you do so, exhale, release. Feel yourself literally melting down into your mat. You can rock off side to side, whatever you need to do to just feel yourself letting go more and more. Use that breath and reach in, slide in between those knees, grabbing the outside of your feet. You can take a moment, take a breath in if you need to, and as you exhale, move back into happy baby. Or move it any way that feels right for you. Literally, notice what feels right for your body. Which way do your legs go naturally? How about this? Why are you here? Why are you doing this? One just to exercise, one just to stretch. There's something meaningful behind it. There's a reason that you came here. When you think about that right now, while you think about that right now, experiencing the things that you want to be experiencing, that you will be, notice the way that your body moves naturally, all instinctively, all on its own. Use that intention, use your why. Find that as we move through the rest of this program, that you may move in ways that support that. Maybe exactly the kind of thing that you need. Go ahead and bring your feet down to your bottom. Let them relax down there. Your right leg extends out once again. Open up that right hip. Those ribs, if you like, you can walk your shoulders up the mat a bit. Find your spine extending longer and longer. You're counteracting all that gravity, all that pressure. Your left foot pushes down into the floor, scoops your pelvis in underneath, lower back to the floor. Your hands reach out to either side, looser and looser. Your torso rolls off to one side, your shoulder blade comes in underneath, roll off to the other side, that other shoulder blade comes in underneath. You assume that natural position. Once again, neutral position. I want you to imagine yourself sitting on a dock or a rock. A body of water underneath you. Lake, stream, ocean, puddle. Doesn't matter. As you look down into it, you see a reflection of yourself. Being happy, healthy. Literally answering that why. Your intentions. Being taken care of. Addressed. As you feel that, your right leg extends a little longer. As you exhale, it slowly swings over to your left hand. Toe just grazes the surface of water and sends ripples of health, happiness, and well-being all throughout your body. As that right foot comes over to your left side, you can turn your gaze to your right hand, hands moving away from each other. Take a nice breath in as you breathe out. Let go. Feel those ripples continuing, emanating out through that hip, your lower back, mid-back, shoulders, neck, head, down through your thigh, hamstring, knee, shin, calf, ankle, foot, down to your very soles. Ripple after ripple, relaxation after relaxation. That right leg reaches on out and then slowly swings down, grazing that surface again, sending out more of those ripples. All that healing, that health. Your right foot comes up to your bottom, you reposition, readjust, your left leg extends, opening up that left hip, those ribs, push your right foot down to the floor, scoop that pelvis in underneath, see that water, and your left foot just slowly swings over to that right hand. Exhale as long as you possibly can, tying one moment into another. When we breathe in, we literally stop time. How many times, right? Scared, frightened. You take that breath, it's like everything freezes, stops. As you exhale, go even deeper, relax even more. You find a continuation. One moment tied to another. That left leg extends out and then reaches out and slowly swings down through. Ripple after ripple. Your left foot comes up to your bottom. Scoop your pelvis in underneath. Right leg reaches on out and then swings over to that left side. Now continue at your own rate and speed. Take your time. Enjoy that opening. All those ripples. So I work with them. Some of the things that we're learning here about that breath and how much it controls your emotions, how important it is to be able to relax, to be at your best. Knowing that when you grasp, when you hold on, when you bring that tension, too much oxygen into the picture, well, things become rigid. You're not going to do things the way that you can when you're relaxed like you are right now. Even now, as you breathe out, bring your feet up to your bottom, your knees just rise on up to the ceiling. Keep pushing the floor, scooping that pelvis in underneath. Your hands just easily come down to your hips. Breathe out as your knees float in towards your chest, reaching down, up and around. Give yourself another big old hug. Notice how much looser things already are, how much better things already are. It's amazing how quickly you heal, how quickly you change, how quickly you can open up as your hands effortlessly slide in between your knees, grab the outside of your feet, breathe out as you move into whatever position you want. Go ahead and bring your feet back down to the floor. Then you rock your knees in toward your chest, bring them down to the floor. Then go ahead and bring your knees, your feet all the way up over your head, whatever you like. Assume whatever position is comfortable, right for you. You can continue to move from one into another. Use that breath. Even in this position now, exhale, trust. Find yourself literally melting down into your mat, your spine opening up, your ribs, shoulders, and the things that you choose to address, the things that you choose to do. May simply just be lying on your back. That's perfectly fine. Listen to yourself. I'll repeat it over and over again. Take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, relax back down onto your back. Gently and easily, your legs can extend on out, opening up your hips, lower back, rolling, do whatever you need to do. Your feet slide back in towards your bottom. Then go ahead and push down into the floor, scooping your pelvis and underneath, lower back to the floor. Your hands reaching out to either side. Roll off to one side, bring that shoulder blade underneath. Roll off to the other side, bring that shoulder blade underneath. Your knees are gently lowered over to your right hand side, raised back on up and lowered over to your left hand side. That continues to happen easily and naturally. Use that exhalation, use that breath every word I say, and as you do so, your hips can slowly walk down your mat. You're literally lengthening your spine. You're physically opening yourself up at the same time. Use that breath. Exhale the entire time. If you feel anything start triggering, alarms, whatever, ease up. Use that breath. Relax even more. 10 times, 20 times. Things just go into place. Go ahead and take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, you can effortlessly, seamlessly roll over onto your stomach. Just finding yourself just sliding around easily and naturally, bringing your head onto your hands. Once you've gotten yourself comfortable, once again, use that breath at all times. If you ever need to, you just stop when you breathe in and then find yourself easily able to exhale and begin rocking those hips side to side. You can walk those hips down your mat. Once again, finding your spine becoming longer and longer, opening up all that wonderful space in your pelvis, lower back. Only go as far as what's comfortable for you. You bring your hands by your ears, elbows in by your chest, rise on up into a small cobra. Gently, easily rolling on through. Neck, shoulders. You go ahead and relax back down onto your stomach. Hands under your head, rocking those hips once again, elongating down the length of your spine, opening yourself up in a natural, healing, healthy way. Feel the pelvis, that hips opening on up as well. Your hands back by your ears, elbows in by your chest, rise back on up into a small cobra, a little bit bigger this time. Take a nice breath of that fresh air on in. Find things becoming easier and easier for you. Scoop your toes in underneath. You press back with your hands, rocking back into child's pose. Wonderful. Being there, you can begin reaching out with your hips, your ribs. Allow yourself just to rise on up to all fours, rising on up in a cat position, lowering down into cow, ribs rolling. You scoop your toes in underneath. You're going to bring your chin to your chest and keep it there as you engage your core and feel your hips literally lifted on up into downward dog. Use that exhalation. Continue rocking those feet back and forth, marching them on out. You're going to put a slight bend in those knees, walking those hands in towards each other. You're going to bring yourself back to a standing position. Scoop your pelvis in underneath. Stack one vertebrae on top of another. Exhaling, bringing that chin on up. Take a nice breath in as you breathe out. Those hands rise on up. Bring all that energy into yourself. As you breathe out, bring yourself all the way back, feeling absolutely fantastic. Wonderful. Go ahead and grab yourself a quick drink of water. We continue on.
the paddler I was talking about, like I said, they're used to being top notch, and they were having these difficulties that were coming through, and it really turned out to just how she felt about things. She was having a lot of stress with it. So she went ahead, she did the same things that we do here. Even now, let's go ahead and take a nice breath in, right? Getting yourself right behind your chair, your hands there. You're going to take a nice breath in, your right foot forward. As you exhale, you're going to easily allow yourself to come down to the ground, your right foot forward, left knee back and behind. Continue to exhale as you scoop your pelvis in underneath. You bring your chin on up, eyes on up, your shoulder blades relax down the back. Smile, literally smile. Your body relaxes, makes it easier. Why wouldn't you? Take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, you find yourself just rising on up into that triangle position. And your chair just slides away from you. Keep your chin up. Keep an arch in your back, hips. Let that chair just stand on out. Once you're horizontal, use that breath. Exhale. Your right hip moves away from the back of your chair. Your left hip comes towards it. So you're squaring your pelvis off to the chair. Use that breath. Breathe out. Relax those hips. There it goes. Let it go. Trust yourself. Trust yourself to move, to be stronger, more supportive. Breathe in. As you breathe out, your hands come down to the ground. Your left foot slides back behind you. Your chest comes in between your shoulders. Your chin on up, eyes on up. Breathe in and breathe out. Assume that runner stretch position. So you're not stretching, you're not forcing, you're just simply in this position. And finding yourself being able to be in this position, lift your eyes up even higher. Your body literally follows your eyes, and maybe you go a little bit deeper into it. You open up a little bit more. You do what's right for you. Listen to your body. Your left shoulder is going to reset into the back of the rib cage to support you as your left hip comes in underneath and you look over that right knee. Your right shoulder can open up. You can bring your gaze up to the ceiling. You're getting into that IT band that comes down through your left ribs, your left hip, thigh, knee. It's a mess. Once that gets tight, hip flexors, you're opening up that left hip so that your pelvis can come in underneath, coming into that neutral position. Once again, resetting that hip. Exhale as you bring yourself back to runner stretch. Your right knee, leg extends and you rotate off to your left hand side. Take a moment, adjust your hips, pelvis, lock your knees on out. Breathe in. As you breathe out, your torso comes down between your legs. While you're in this position, your head, 10 to 12 pounds, right? Every breath that you exhale, every breath that you let go, that head hangs lower and lower and lower. Once again, your spine opening up in the most wonderful way. Bend your knees, bring your hands on up to your hips, scooping your pelvis in underneath, leading with your chin, bring yourself all the way on up to a standing position. You turn your feet slightly outwards, bring your pelvis in underneath, shoulder blades down back, chin on up. Bring those pelvis, the shoulder blades back in that neutral position. Bring yourself back to a standing position, walking your feet on in together. Let's hit the other side. This time we're going to have our left foot forward, our right knee back and behind. Remember, use that exhalation. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, allow yourself just to settle down on in and continue through that position. Bring your chin on up. Your shoulder blades relax down and back. Pelvis scoops in underneath, literally stacking all your major joints one on top of another. Keeping your chin on up, you literally just exhale and rise on up in that triangle position. Keeping an arch in your hips, chin on up, smile on your face. That chair just slides on out away from you. Once you're horizontal, your left hip moves effortlessly away from the back of the chair. Your right hip coming forward. Use that breath to relax more and more. Remember how relaxed you were not 10 minutes ago, just lying there easily and naturally, hips moving this way and that. Preparing yourself for this moment. Exhaling as your hands come down to the floor. Your right foot sliding back away from you. Your chest comes in between your shoulders. Chin on up. Bring your eyes up even higher. Allow that body to open up even more. Make sure to put yourself in a position that's comfortable for you, that you can adjust and shift from. You're going to go ahead and bring your right shoulder blade back into the back of that rib cage.
And then your right hip comes down towards the floor, looking over your left knee, opening up through that chest. Once again, that IT band, through those ribs, that hip, thigh, knee. You're having it literally roll out and back around so that your hip no longer is pulled forward, allowing the pelvis to come in through. Releasing all kinds of back pain, sciatica. Turns us into a mess. Exhale as you bring yourself back into run and stretch position. You extend that left leg, rotate off to your right hand side. Reposition those hips. Exhale, allow your chest to come down between your legs. That head, 10 to 12 pounds. Imagine it being 13 pounds. Exhale, 14 pounds. Your spine elongates more and more. 15 pounds. Your right hand reaches over to your left foot as you exhale. Your left hand comes over to your right. Exhale. So bring yourself to a neutral position, put a bend in your knees, hands up to your hips, leading with your chin, scooping your pelvis in underneath, bring yourself all the way back on up to the same position. Your feet turn slightly outwards, pelvis continue underneath, shoulder blades out, and then back, chin on up, smile. Move, get yourself back into shape, bring yourself back to the same position, walking your feet on in together. Wonderful. Go ahead and grab yourself a drink of water. There's a class right after this so you can leave your chairs where you're at. There you will love it. I got spammed. Yeah, where are we? We're in the yoga, aren't we? Okay, so remember, use that exhalation, please. As you use that exhalation, you literally tie one moment into another. It becomes easier and easier for you. It's all the starting and all the stops, right? Take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, you allow your hands to come down to the floor. Walk yourself on out into downward dog. Imagine yourself being that marionette, your hips literally being lifted on up to the ceiling, walking to and fro, marching on out. You go ahead and you come easily forward into a plank position, rotate those elbows in, ride them all the way down to the ground. Your hands right there at chest level, you push down into the floor, dropping your shoulder blades into that lower back. You exhale and rise on up into Cobra. Once you're here, your head moves away from your tailbone, your knees can point out either direction, opening up to your abdomen, your pelvis. You can even relax your shoulder blades back together, bring your chest on through. Do what's right for you. Exhale as you bring your gaze off to one side, over to the other, forward all the way on up. Relax all the way down. Go ahead and take a moment here. Sort up that spine, get everything all nice and comfy for you. You're going to bring your chin to your chest and you're going to keep it there. Activate your core, press that into the floor, rise on up in the downward dog. Your hips lifted right on up. You march on out for a moment. Open up those hamstrings, your soles, you rock forward back into plank position. Rotate those elbows in, ride them all the way down. Put your hands down the floor, drop those shoulder blades, rise on up into Cobra. Head moves away from your tailbone. Turn your knees on out, relax your shoulder blades down the back, chest comes on through. Use that breath, exhale. Bring your gaze off to one side. Over to the other. Forward all the way on up. Relax all the way down. Tuck your chin, activate your core, feel your hips lifted on up in the downward dog. We're moving into those warrior poses. Remember, exhale, tie one moment into another. Breathe in. As you breathe out, your right foot comes forward to your right hand. Your left foot turns to the outside. Your right hip comes on in, hands back. Activate your core. Exhale as you rise on up into warrior one.
Once you're here, use that breath. You're going to go ahead and also bring your torso back over your left hip. So literally, you want to shift your weight off of this front thigh back over that hip, allowing yourself to be that much more comfortable. You're not burning out, right? Breathe in. As you breathe out, you move into Warrior 2. Your hands easily able to move away from each other. You find yourself fully supported, engaging that core. You exhale, your front hand flips, and you come back into Reverse Warrior. Your right shoulder relaxes, opening up through that entire chest line. Your right forearm softly comes down onto your right thigh. Your left hand floats on up to the ceiling. Imagine yourself that string pulling you higher and higher and allowing your right hand to come down to the ground. Fully supported, stable. Breathe in, breathe out. Your left hand comes up and over your head, extending all the way down the left side of your body. Activate your core. Bring yourself all the way back into Warrior 2. We're going to bring both back hands down to the ground. Bring yourself down through. Ride those elbows down. Push down to the floor. Drop those shoulder blades. Rise on up into Cobra. Exhale as you bring yourself all the way down. Reset. Tuck that chin in. Activate that core. Rise on up into Downward Dog. Hit the left side this time. Exhale as your left foot comes up to your left hand. Right foot rotates. Left hip in. Hands back. Activate your core. Rise on up. You bring your torso back over that right hip. Take the pressure off that front leg. Exhale. Your arms extend even more. You open up even more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Move into Warrior 2. Hands moving away from each other. You flip that front hand, effortlessly bring yourself back into Reverse Warrior. Your left elbow gently comes down on your left thigh. Your right hand reaches, is literally lifted on up to the ceiling. Your left hand comes down to the ground. You breathe in, breathe out. Right hand comes up, over, and forward, extending through the right side of your body. Activate your core. Bring yourself back into Warrior 2. Straighten that front leg. Come on up and out of it. Great job, guys. Go ahead, grab a drink of water, grab your maces. Quite proud of myself today. Staying on time. All right. So we've been opening up the body, we've been getting everything straightened out. Now we get to help lock things into position for ourselves. We're just adding a little bit of weight. And to be honest with you, the things that we're doing with this, they even aren't so much about activating to a great degree, not the movements we're doing here. This is more about literally using the weight, using gravity to pull our shoulder blades down into the proper positioning. Then activating those muscles around that, while at the same time engaging that proper core, proper posture. So first we're going to be learning about how to engage that core. Once again, they call back in. There's a couple different things. We'll go through the description right here. So first off, we get ourselves back in that proper posture. You pull yourself up nice and tall. Imagine yourself up against a door, wall, mirror, whatever it happens to be. One joint stacked right on top of another. Now you're going to go ahead, you're going to scoop your pelvis in underneath into that neutral position, activating just those lower glutes. You're going to go ahead and bring your chin on up, your eyes on up, about that 45 degree, expand your vision. You can smile if you like to. Your shoulder blades relax down and back. Now, I want you to go ahead and exhale all the air from your stomach. So you take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, literally feel that air, whatever we were holding in there, releasing and it becoming tighter and tighter. You're literally creating a corset around your whole midriff. You're activating yourself at deep core level. So you can do it again. Take a nice breath in. As you breathe out, it becomes tighter and tighter, supporting you strongly. Now it was important to do the other things first because this literally locks the rest of your body in this position. Keeping that for yourself, you're going to go ahead and put a slight bend in your knees, and you're going to bring your mace up, back, and around behind you. Let's run the checklist again. Your glutes, you bring your chin on up, shoulder blades relax down the back, engage that core, exhale, and allow that mace to swing side to side. Now what we're doing, as that mace swings side to side, you're relaxing those arms, you relax those shoulder blades, you don't need them. Literally, it's just your hands holding on to it. You relax that lower back line, your pelvis scoops in underneath. Let that mace come to a standstill. You're going to go ahead and pull it in towards the back of your head. Your glutes, core, chin on up, shoulder blades relax down the back, extending those elbows on out, opening up through that chest line. Remember, don't hold your breath. Exhale, release, let go. You can do this. You reach back around behind, bring that mace on forward. We're going to do the same thing again, but we're going to switch our grip. So whatever hand was on top is going to go to the bottom, bottom to top. Go ahead and set your posture first. Activate your glutes, chin on up, shoulder blades down the back. Go ahead and activate that core. Exhale. It becomes tighter and tighter. You go ahead and put a bend in your knees, keeping that positioning. Bring that mace up, back and around behind your head. Do it. Glutes, core, chin, shoulder blades. Let it swing. Let it swing. As you do so, once again, relax your arms, relax your shoulder blades, let it just set easier and easier. Let it come to a standstill. You move it in towards the back of your head. Glutes, core, chin, shoulder blades, pull it on in towards the back of your head, extend those elbows on out. Relax your arms, relax your shoulder blades, feel that mid-back, lower back relaxing as well. Reach back and around behind, bring the mace on forward. We're going to get ourselves into squats. And now when we do these squats, we do them powerlifting style. They lift the most weight. Why not implement it right here? What we do, we keep our torso as vertical as we can. We keep the weight back on our heels, and we use the glutes to do all the lifting. So being in this position right now, you're going to go ahead and activate your glutes. So tighten them on up, the lower glutes, as high as you can get them. Using those to support yourself. You lower yourself on down, use them to spring yourself on up, switch your mace over to that other side. And you continue. Now as you're doing so, I want you to keep your eyes at a 45-degree angle. It literally makes things lighter. We're accessing different parts of our brain, our visual senses, rather than our kinesthetic, our physical feelings. Well, if you're feeling heavy, if things feel heavy, well, it's going to be. The higher you look, the lighter things become. This is going to be our last one right here. Fantastic. All right, we're going to get on into the series. So I want you to go ahead and maintain all the things we've been talking about. Use that breath. Use that exhalation as much as you can. By exhaling, you tie one moment into another. Things become easier and easier for you. Let's see. I'm going to be pointing this away. You guys got it. Pull yourself up nice and tall. We're going to get rid of those grave diggers. Moving on out to your right side. And we switch. We continue. Now while we're doing this, we're using our pelvis to do the motion. Not the lower back, but the pelvis. This is going to be our last one. Moving into squats. Go ahead and set yourself on up. Weight back on the heels. Chin on up. Eyes on up. Glutes activated. Bring yourself down. We got 5 of these. 2. Once again, eyes up, exhale as much as you can. We got one more. This is the last one. We're going into 5 curls. 1, 2. Now as you do this, keep your chin on up. Bring the weight back on your heels. Shoulder blades together. 4, 5. We're going overhead. 5 tries. 1, 2. Keep your eyes up, chin up. 4, 5, we bring the weight to our right ear, the tail comes across, tail down, we step to the left side. Step on those grave diggers, we got 6 of them. Once again, you keep your torso as vertical as you can, and you're using the pelvis to move through that motion, using your real driving force. Last one, setting up for squats. Pull yourself up nice and tall, activate your glutes. Chin on up, eyes on up, let's go. 1, 2, 3, weight back on the heels, activate those glutes. 4, 5, 5 curls. 1. Now as you're doing this, you're going to pull outward on the mace. Literally pull your hands away from each other. 3, 4, 5. The mace comes up overhead. 5 tries. 1, chin on up, eyes on up. 3, 4, 5, the weight comes to your left ear, tail comes across, tail down, relax. Wonderful. Go ahead and put them off to the sides. We're going to bring ourselves back onto our mat, set into child's pose. Make yourself nice and comfortable. Enjoy all that good work that you've done for yourself here, right? Thank you guys. I really appreciate you for being here. Hope you have a great time with these videos. Can't wait to be back live again. It's going to make yourself nice and comfortable, extending through that back arm, whatever feels right for you. Walk yourself over to your right hand side. Open up those left hand ribs. I want you to think about 3 things that you're grateful for. 3 things that bring a smile to your face, joy to your heart, makes everything worthwhile. Your why? No. Walk yourself over to your left hand side. Open up those right ribs. I want you to think about 3 things that are going to make today terrific. Fantastic, absolutely amazing. We've got a whole weekend for you, huh? What do you choose to do? You choose to enjoy. Bring yourself back to a neutral position. Bring yourself on up to all fours. Daily affirmation time. What do you choose to be today? You've been making the choice over and over and over again. We all do. What do you choose mindfully? What do you want for yourself? How do you want to be? Affirm that over and over and over again. Enjoy that. You go ahead and rock back onto your heels. Hands just rise on up to the ceiling. Bring yourself right back to that state of gratitude. Grateful for yourself. For taking care of yourself. For doing this. Being here. Well, there's all these wonderful people joining you on that journey. Take a nice breath in. Breathe out. Let those hands come floating all the way down. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much.